boy, I am excited to be doing this video. My name is Sawdust Dave. This channel is Sawdust and Wanderlust. And this is my first serious YouTube video. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna show you the build. This right here is a stepping stool. This is great for kids, for shorter people. It's a great build for any aunts, uncles, parents, people that are shorter than places they need to get to. It's a good build. All you need is one 8-foot 2x4. Build it. So, for the build, this is everything you need. Did it work? I got text going in there. I don't know if that's the right side or I think it's gonna look good. It'll look good. So pause the video, write everything down, or don't pause it, you know? I'll just hang out. I don't really care. It is cold here. Okay, I'm in Sarasota, and contrary to popular belief, it is not 73 degrees here year round. It has been uncomfortably cold. Mom! So start by cutting your 2x4. You're gonna be making a total of 8 cuts. You're gonna have 3 pieces at 12 inches, 2 pieces at 10.5 inches, 1 piece at 9 inches, and 2 pieces at 7 inches. It's normally a good idea to start with your larger cuts first to minimize waste, but with this project you're actually going to have some left over at the end, so it's not a big deal. And if you don't have a miter saw or a circular saw or table saw or just a lot of tools at your place, you can get by with bare minimum. Home Depot will cut these pieces for you. You don't need the pocket holes. You could just get by with some wood glue, some paint, and some stain. It obviously won't be as sturdy, but you got to do what you got to do. Next step is sanding. Get rid of some of those little frillies. I'm using a desktop belt sander, but you can use literally any other sander or just sandpaper if it's all that you got. So for your pocket holes, you're only putting them into 3 different pieces. You got the 2 7-inch pieces that you cut, and that's going to be going, you're going to be throwing 2 in there, down the middle, because you're going to be attaching these to the 10.5-inch piece like this, and then you're also going to be putting it in the 9-inch piece that you cut. You're going to be throwing 4, and you got 2 up top, 2 down low. Okay, so for those of you that are new to building or woodworking in general, you may have no idea what a pocket hole is. If that's the case, I'll break it down for you real quick. It's basically a way to screw 2 pieces of wood together without having the screw head being visible. It's done with a specialized drill bit and jig, and it's a great way to get a strong bond with a very clean look. Okay, so for the pocket holes, it's a good idea to clamp everything up. Sometimes these things try to run away from each other. Putting this thing together is a piece of cake. You're going to take those 2 pieces that we just built, which are the 7-inch pieces on top of the 10.5-inch pieces, and these are going to be the actual sides of the stool. The next step is to use the 9-inch piece as a brace on the back side of the stool. Originally, I was going to use all 4 of the pocket holes that I drilled to attach each side together, but once I got one side attached, the space was just too tight to fit my drill. So I opted to use wood glue and 2-inch brad nails to attach to the other side. Aside from those pieces, there's the 3 12-inch pieces, which will be the actual steps on the stool. You don't want to attach these until you have the base painted and the steps are stained. So now that you've got everything glued up, screwed up, nailed together, you're not going to be cutting anything else, you're not throwing any more sawdust in the air, it is time to go hard in the paint. Lay down some tarp or drop cloth or whatever you got. You don't want to make a big mess, you don't want to clean up for longer than your actual project should take. So throw that down and get to painting. When it comes to painting, less is more. I ended up putting on 4 light coats of this white paint and primer. You don't want to aim for full coverage in your first few coats. You really want to avoid laying it on too thick and having to deal with the paint pooling up on you or dripping. For stain, I have the opposite mentality. I like to lay it on thick and let the wood soak up as much of it as it can for about 5 minutes. Then I pour paint thinner on a rag and wipe everything off. I really like this technique. I feel like it gives it the most contrast in the wood grain just by pulling off whatever the wood hasn't soaked in and leaving the light parts as light as it can be and keeping the saturated wood grain nice and dark. I forgot to use the wood filler to cover up these brad nail holes before I painted. It's really not a big deal, but normally you want to go ahead and do that prior to painting. You could also go ahead and throw the wood filler in the pocket holes if you'd like, but those are going to be pretty well hidden. And honestly, your only critics here are going to be the people using this, and they're probably like 2 years old, so I don't really think they'll care that much. Time to assemble the steps. It's a good idea to use some wood glue for some added insurance, but the brad nail should do a sufficient job holding the steps together. Just don't use too much glue so you can avoid having to clean up any squeeze out. You want to put a protective coat on whatever wood project that you do. I'm using white bond poly. It is simple, easy, and quick to do. You could use a more protective coat if that's what you'd like to do, but this worked just fine for me. Have some fun with this project. Be creative, use whatever stain and color combinations that you want. It's the best part about doing DIY projects and building things yourself. You get to create it and make it your own. Stepping stools are a great project to build, not only to sell, but to give to a loved one. My Uncle Jim built me this one when I was a kid, and I've kept it to this day, and there's not a thing on here that I would change. Other than this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a ton of fun making it, but this is my first video, so if you have any suggestions or comments or critiques, as long as you're not just being mean, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, and go ahead and hit the dislike button if you're the type of person that doesn't say thank you if somebody holds the door open for you. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on my next video. I will be trying to post as regularly as possible. But for the meantime, this is Sawdust Dave signing out. Right, Aviana. So do you love your new stool?
No.
Do you think you keep this with you for the rest of your life?
Nah.
Do you think other people should build this?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.